Storing rice, flour, and pasta for 20 years without spoilage. Hi, I'm Tracy. Have you ever thought about how long the basic foods in your kitchen can actually be stored? Rice, flour, and pasta are everyday essentials. But if you don't know how to store them properly, they can lose their flavor or even go bad. Today, I'll show you a simple and practical way to preserve rice, flour, and pasta so they keep their full flavor for up to 20 years, even longer. Be sure to watch until the end to learn what the secret is. First, for the rice storage method. The only tools you need are a few glass jars of suitable size with tight-fitting lids. The special and most important rule when preserving any food is to make sure that both the rice and the glass jars are completely dry. Any moisture left inside can reduce the storage time later. Next, pour the dry rice into the jars one by one. Then gently shake the jar or lightly tap it on the countertop so the rice grains settle evenly on their own. Continue adding rice until the jar is full. The less air left inside, the longer the rice can be stored. While you are doing this, take a moment to share with me in the comments. Does your family eat rice often? And where are you watching from today? I really want to know which country and city you are watching from. After filling the jars, gently heat the rice to remove any remaining moisture by placing all the jars on the oven tray. However, before baking, you need to preheat the oven to 110 degrees Celsius for 5 minutes. Then place the tray with the rice jars inside and continue heating at the same temperature for 90 minutes. During this stage, the steady heat will completely dry both the rice and the glass jars. This step is very important because moisture and microorganisms are the main reasons dry foods spoil over time. By removing them now, you will significantly extend the shelf life of the rice. Be patient and let the oven do the work. While the rice is being heated, it is important to prepare the lids properly. Place the lids in boiling water and sterilize them for 15 minutes. After that, put the lids into the oven and dry them at 50 degrees Celsius until they are completely dry before sealing. Dry lids are just as important as dry rice. When the heating time is finished, remove only one jar from the oven at a time. The jar and the rice inside will be very hot, so be careful. Wipe the rim of the jar to make sure it is clean and dry. Then place the lid on immediately and seal it while the jar is still hot. Do not remove multiple jars at the same time. Heat is what creates the vacuum seal, and if the jar cools too much, the seal may fail. After the jars have cooled completely, check whether the sealing was successful. Look closely at the center of each lid. The lid should be pulled down and slightly indented. This is a clear sign that a proper vacuum has formed inside the jar. If the lid is flat or pops when pressed, it is not successful. Air can easily enter, and the storage time will not be long. After confirming, move the sealed jars to a dark, dry, and well-ventilated place. Light, heat, and moisture can affect stored food over time, so choosing the right storage location is very important. When done correctly, these jars of rice can maintain good quality for 20 to 30 years, providing a reliable food source whenever needed. After finishing the rice storage, this same preservation method can also be applied to flour. If done correctly, flour can also be stored in glass jars for more than 20 years. Start with jars that are clean and completely dry, just like before. Pour the flour into each jar, then gently shake it so the flour distributes evenly and fills any empty spaces. Continue adding flour until the jar is filled all the way to the top. Once the jars are ready, arrange them neatly on a baking tray. Place the flour jars into the oven. Preheat the oven for 5 minutes at 100 degrees Celsius. Then put the tray with the flour jars inside and heat for 90 minutes. This steady temperature helps remove any remaining moisture from both the flour and the jars, which is essential for long-term storage. When the time is up, remove only one jar at a time while it is still hot. Always wear protective gloves because the glass will be very hot to the touch. Wipe the rim of the jar to make sure it is clean and dry. Then place the lid on immediately and seal it tightly. Working one jar at a time helps retain heat inside and ensures each jar is properly airtight. After the flour jars have cooled completely, carefully check the lids. The center of each lid should be slightly sunken. Let them cool for a little while. Then place them in a dark, dry location away from heat and sunlight. When stored correctly, these jars of flour will maintain their quality and be ready to use whenever you need them. Next, let's talk about dry pasta. Even though pasta is sold in sealed packages, it still has a shelf life and can gradually lose quality over time once the package is opened. By storing pasta in clean, completely dry glass jars, you can extend its usability for many years. Simply pour the dry pasta into the jars and fill them all the way to the top. You can choose different types of pasta depending on which kinds your family uses most. After filling the pasta jars, place them on a baking tray. At the same time, I place the jar lids next to the tray so they can be sterilized as well. Now put everything into an oven that has been preheated to 100 degrees Celsius for 5 minutes, and continue heating for another 90 minutes. After 10 minutes, remove the lids and continue heating the pasta. When the heating time is finished, take the jars out of the oven one by one. Wipe the rim of each jar clean and quickly place the lid on to create a vacuum seal. Repeat the same steps for each jar, always keeping the remaining jars in the hot oven. These steps ensure that each pasta jar is properly sealed and ready for long-term storage. After all the jars are sealed, place them in your dry food cabinet, together with your rice or flour storage. Choose a place that is dry, well ventilated, and cool, and use them gradually over the next 20 years. Now you've completed the storage process for 3 dry staples: rice, flour, and pasta. By following this method, they can keep their flavor for 20 years or even longer. I hope this helps you when you want to preserve any type of dry food. Thank you so much for watching and spending your time with me. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like or a heart in the comments.